Hey, it's Sean back for another episode at OGS. XE lockdown is sort of finished. I don't even really know. But what I do know is that I've been driving this thing. Last video, it kind of looked like I didn't know it worked, but a part of that footage was actually missing. I actually did clean the boot up and everything like that. Anyway, so here's where we're at. What I'm thinking is that, yeah, since I was driving it, I actually drove it in the rain, and there was a few little rust spots that have been getting a little worse. So I'm thinking that we're going to tackle that by giving the thing a respray. Let's walk around and have a bit of a look. So we're going to panel beat this bit here, and I can notice, see, there's no paint or primer or anything there. So that sort of has gotten, well, looks a little rustier. This thing here has become more yellow and doesn't look very good. I don't want to protect it. I know everyone's sort of saying patina, but if you look really closely, the whole thing is crow's footed, I guess you would call it that. And there's like holes everywhere sort of thing. So I reckon that we should probably give her a respray. You know, why not? There's a few more little bits and pieces there, and that's just getting darker and darker. And if I rub enough, you can sort of see it on my finger, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so what I'm thinking is Wizzy, back down, maybe not to bare metal. We'll see how we go sort of thing. Well, that'll be easy to get to bare metal, so we might have to bare metal the whole bloody thing. Get some primer on it. Bit of filler. High fill. Sand it, shape it, sharpen up the lines. Base coat blue, clear coat, and away you go. Anyway, I already got some paint mixed up. Let's go have a look in the car. All right, I've got some paint mixed up. Let's go compare it together. Obviously this is not enough to paint the whole car, but you know, it's just a sample. And hopefully I don't spill it all over myself. Smell that, smells great. Okay, so that is paint code A, which corresponds to icy blue. A for amazing. Okay, so guys, that's sort of what it looks like there. It's a metallic ice blue color, and that's what I'm thinking it's going to be. So let's have a bit of a squiz. What do you think about that? Does that sort of go with that? I'm thinking so, but maybe we can do a spray out and just double check. Probably the best way is to just match it up with the boot lid, but I think that's a pretty good match. And I think this is a great color. Metallic, you beauty. All right, so 3 or 4 liters of this bad boy and a lot of body work to do. Let's get this panel beat, fix it up a bit, and then we'll start whizzing. Let's open the boot and see whether we actually did any work on that. Hey, look at that. You can't really see it, but anyway, it's clean. I put down a little bit of like WD-40 just to keep it nice and wet. Anyway, that's all clean. So I can do a bit of panel beating sort of thing, so let's give it a bit of a slap and a tickle. I haven't really found too many dints. There's just bits and pieces that are like sort of like rusty. Around here, now that's pretty good. There's a slight little dint on the roof there, but we might just fill it because we've got headliner sort of like in the way. What else? Down below, usually the sills get pretty knocked up, but they're pretty good. The only one really is over here, so we'll take the guard off and then give it a bit of a whack and see whether we can get that sort of back into shape there. We want to at least bring it back out and then sharpen up that line with a bit of filler. On the bonnet, it looked pretty good. This side's good. Usually they get knocked in here because they run into something. That's the first point of contact. Around here, nothing much to write home about. You know, the roof's pretty good, but you know, it's always a little bit wavy from the factory. Down the back over there, it's good. Yeah, it's only really one little bit of panel beat, and then we can start giving it a whiz. Ah, the old door handle problem. Man, not even the XD gave me this grief. All right. Far out, we might be in trouble here. Oh no. Hey. Far out, that's lucky. I wouldn't have been able to get in. It's always the last bolt that tries to fight you. For me, it was this one down here, and I've kind of stuffed that bit there, but I had to get it off. It was literally the last bolt, and it was just spinning on itself. Let's have a bit of a look here. So you can see that we've sort of caught it before it's really started to get rusty. I can see a whole bunch of stuff here that's just falling down. We need to fix that up. And you can see like surface rust. You can see a big old daddy long legs. Hello, bud. Yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty good condition, to be honest. There's nothing that's too scary. Oh, that's a bit heavy going, but that's nice and straight. Bit of surface rust there. So, I mean, we've got this car at a really, really good point of in its life, where it does need some love, but it's not gone too far. So, the bit that we're going to fix is just this little bit in here. It's a little bit of a nook. I'm not sure how we're going to go fixing it. It's a little bit difficult, but let's see whether we can get that out and getting it look at least a little bit better. All right, let me talk you through what I've done. So here it is so far. What I did was I flipped it over and it had bulged obviously on the inside. And then what I had done, what I used was I used this hammer. And I used this hammer because there's an edge on here. So when I hit it from the inside, I tried to get as close to that line as possible to retain that line. So I was knocking this way, dum dum dum. And so I've brought it back out, and I was using this dolly over here just to hold it on this side. And I'm just lightly tapping. So you should always hold a dolly. And then I was trying to hold it in on this side, like so. So I've brought it back out, I flipped it onto this side here. Then I've grabbed this dolly, just held it sort of like underneath there, like so. And I would hold it like this to have this line hold it against that line there to retain it. And the same deal, I was then moving this on the inside like that underneath for this line, to try to hold on to it. And then I've just grabbed a bit of sandpaper that I had lying around, and I was sanding it to see the high spots, right? So then you use your hand and you can feel it, and there's still a little bit there, but most of it's gone. And so put your hand flat and you go across. And that's with this particular guard, you know the shape of it. It's like straight, and then this is straight, and that's pretty straight there. And you can see there's like what looks like a bit of bulk. Maybe that's factory, maybe not, because I don't see too many layers of paint, so that might be from factory. And you can see it's pretty rough. Look at all that, those lines there. So anyway, so you could hammer away a little bit more. What you always do is have a hammer dolly underneath. So you might have heard a clinking sound, like that sort of sound there. And when it hits, you sort of release just a little bit so it doesn't jar your hand. You sort of, when you're about to hit it, you sort of let it drop a little bit as it clinks down so it doesn't jar your hand, and it gives it a little bit of give. So I'm pretty happy with that. If I had my Whizzy here, I'd whiz it all back and really have a look, because you can still see there's a little bit of filler there. But I'm happy that I've retained this line here and I brought this back, and that just needs a few more hits and we're done with this guard. So I hope that maybe you guys have learnt something there. It's not hard. You don't hit it too hard either. You just incrementally keep hitting it and you'll move the metal. And you might have noticed that when I was hitting it, sometimes I was hitting it straight down. I would hit it around and not directly where it was high. I would hit around it, and then I was going like that. So that hit the metal, try to move it in the direction that I want. Because I want it to be going this way, because I want it to follow this straightness of the panel. So I'm sort of like going that way. That's how you do it. Here's a little bit more work, but we're getting there. Let me know if you guys want to see a bit more panel beating and you want me to go through a few things with you guys. I'm by no means an expert. I have more of a passing interest, but maybe we can learn something together. Okay, so I'm going to get this guard back on the car, and it's time to whizzy it, you know, sand it, get rid of all this sort of stuff here and see what's really underneath. I don't know whether I'm going to go full bare metal, but we definitely need to have a look at all this sort of stuff and make sure we clean up all of that. Besides that, the body's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with things, and I think it's a really good opportunity to get this car to the next level. So, got a lot of work to do, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. As always, I appreciate your comments. Take it easy.